Urban Meyer being fired by the Jags. He never really had a strong number two, an assistant he could lean on who would say, hey, don't bring Tebow in here. It looks silly. Who would say, don't bring the Iowa strength coach who just got fired for racial insensitivity. Don't bring him in here. It's not going to play well. Urban, his natural DNA on this stuff was like a college coach. Just bully his way through everything. I mean, coaching in the NFL is hard. It's not this hard. The preseason camp was even a circus. But he should have had somebody from the NFL as a very strong assistant head coach to lean on. He didn't. Because in college, you have so much power over the school president, the athletic director, and your players, you can bulldoze your way through any decision. It doesn't work that way in the NFL. Listen, Bill Walsh was 2-14 in his first season, and Jimmy Johnson was 1-15 in his first season. Coaching in the NFL for a college coach, it's really, really hard. Spurrier, disaster. Saban, not a disaster, but didn't work. Bottom line is, what you need is to show, at least at some point early, some momentum. If you turn the Jaguars' schedule upside down and you had the last 2 weeks early, and then you had them later beating the Bills, leading Arizona at halftime, very competitive against Denver, it would feel different. But that's not what happened. It just kept getting worse. And I think what really hurts him, beyond the really weird personal behavior with the former Jags kicker, is that Trevor Lawrence is regressing, and badly. There's a lot of coaches in this league that really struggle in their first year. But you got to show glimpses. You have to show promise. And 2 weeks ago, when they lost to the Rams, I had a high-ranking team official say, I think this is about it. He's lost the room. You can lose games. You can't lose the room. You know, if you look at a lot of the college coaches, they have very combative personalities, the successful ones. You know, Nick Saban, Urban Meyer, Jim Harbaugh. They're battlers. They battle on the recruiting trail. You know, they have these really strong personalities, and they just forge their way to success. But in the NFL, with that kind of personality, Saban to the NFL, Harbaugh in the NFL, he eventually struggled with the ownership and front office in San Francisco, Urban Meyer in Jacksonville. You got to come into this with a little humility, generally, to make it work. Matt Rule hasn't had a great start, but you can sense that. Cliff Kingsbury came in very humble, very grateful. And I think sometimes what makes you successful in one field can be your undoing in another field. And I think Harbaugh's personality was overwhelming. Saban's personality in the NFL, Urban's personality, too much ego, too conflict-driven, my way or the highway. It can work beautifully in college where you have so much power. Always a green light. But there's a lot of red and yellow lights in the NFL that you got to stop at. And Urban couldn't.